Hello, here I am once again. A very warm welcome to our video that goes up here on our YouTube for you who take care of children, no matter their age. Today's tip is for you once again about emotional intelligence, how to effectively manage and how to thoughtfully deal with a child's emotions, but in a slightly different way. Today's suggestion is about activities that we can propose to these children to encourage them to talk about emotions and also about their feelings. These are not conventional activities, as I've said in other videos, like recreation, the playground, riding a bike. These are not the types of stimulating activities I'm here to talk about today, but rather stimuli on the emotional side. How much you, as a professional, can help this child to understand, to identify, and to better deal with the emotions they experience every day. When they're a very young baby, when you're taking care of a very young child, the first point is for them to start identifying themselves in the mirror. They can start to see the happy eyes along with the smile. If they are crying, very angry, sad, upset, they look in the mirror and start to identify these emotions that they are experiencing at that moment. This tip is for younger children. Over time, you can gently guide these children through some interesting stories by using drawings and also by using expressive emojis. Look, Joãozinho, this week I felt like this, see? And you? This week I felt like this. But why? Tell me a little more. Give me an example of your feeling. Why did you feel that way? What is that feeling called? I was sad. Wow, but why were you sad? Let's identify this feeling of Joãozinho's, this emotion of Joãozinho's, and also help him deal with this type of situation, in this case with the emotion of sadness. Another stimulus is playing games using emotion cards. It's the emotions game where you write on a post-it. You can do it in a circle with several children or as a partnership between you and Joãozinho himself. And you exchange post-its about the emotions you had during the week and discuss them. Another point is to start identifying and exploring with this child how their day was. For example, Joãozinho once again came home from school and you noticed that he was a little sulky, a little sad. You, together with Joãozinho, can say, Joãozinho, can you tell me if something interesting happened at school today? Or, Joãozinho, can you tell me if something bothered you at school today? And that's a way that through a hug, through affection, you can get important information from Johnny for the welcoming process. It doesn't matter what age they are. What we're talking about here is that you, as a professional, can and should stimulate this child at all ages and stimulate them from an emotional standpoint, from the point of view of their emotions. It's very important because when he's able to identify what he's feeling, he can express it through your presence, through a conversation, through a story, through a group activity. And he can feel more at ease and comforted. And he also hears suggestions from a group or from you on how he can resolve conflicts. If you suggest a problem situation to a slightly older Johnny and ask him to give 2 solutions for that situation, it's a way for him to prepare his brain to deal with difficult situations or conflicts that he may face. When we talk about emotions and feelings, we're also talking about empathy. How empathetic, how close we can and should be to another person we like, or even someone we don't know but to whom we can offer help or lend a listening ear. So you can also practice situations with Johnny like, Johnny, if your little friend Maria's dog had died today, what would you do? How would you act with Maria? And you can create a situation of empathy where Johnny worries about his friend and is able to comfort that friend. Everything I've mentioned are very important situations in daily life because everyone has situations of conflict, situations of trauma, emotions that aren't happy, and yes, can be sad, can be emotions like fear, and many others. And that's why your role is very important in dealing with that child's emotions in a very correct, very assertive, and very caring way. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a like, a kiss, and see you next time.